April 15th, 1912. The unthinkable happens. The RMS Titanic strikes an iceberg and begins its tragic descent into the icy Atlantic. Over 1,500 lives were lost that night. But could they have survived? Today, we're counting down the possible ways passengers of the Titanic could have escaped their fate, ranked from the least likely to the most realistic. Number 8. Riding the iceberg. When the Titanic collided with the iceberg, a desperate thought might have crossed someone's mind. What if I climb onto the iceberg itself? While it sounds like something out of a survival movie, the reality is grim. Icebergs are slippery, jagged, and often unstable. Even if you manage to climb up, the freezing temperatures and wind exposure would lead to hypothermia in minutes. It's a wild idea, but sadly, not a viable one. Number 7. Building rafts from furniture. A more plausible idea, using the ship's furniture to construct makeshift rafts. Titanic was stocked with wooden doors, tables, and chairs. In fact, this theory became infamous with that scene from the movie, where Jack and Rose struggled to fit on a floating door. However, most furniture wasn't designed to support human weight in freezing water. Even if a raft could float, the lack of insulation and exposure to the elements would make survival unlikely. Number 6. Swimming to rescue ships. It's tempting to imagine that a strong swimmer might have reached one of the rescue ships or even swum to shore. Unfortunately, the Titanic was hundreds of miles from the nearest land, and the water temperature was a deadly -2 degrees Celsius, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, the human body shuts down in as little as 15 minutes. Swimming to safety was simply not an option. Number 5. Using the lifeboats more efficiently. The Titanic had lifeboats, but here's the shocking part. Many were launched only half full. For example, lifeboat number 1 had a capacity of 40, but carried just 12 people. If the crew had better coordinated the evacuation, they could have saved hundreds more lives. Additionally, lifeboats could have returned to pick up survivors. Sadly, fear of being swamped by desperate passengers kept most lifeboats at a distance. Number 4. Breaking into the wireless room. The Titanic was equipped with a Marconi wireless telegraph, cutting-edge technology for 1912. Its distress signals reached nearby ships like the Carpathia. But what if passengers had overwhelmed the operators or even taken control of the system to send earlier or more frequent SOS signals? While it's unlikely this would have changed the outcome drastically, a quicker response might have allowed another nearby ship, like the Californian, to reach them in time. Number 3. Overturning the class system. The Titanic's class divisions proved fatal. First-class passengers were prioritized for lifeboats, while many third-class passengers were trapped below deck, unable to access safety. If passengers had revolted or broken barriers to equalize access to lifeboats, the death toll could have been significantly reduced. But in the chaos and confusion, class privilege tragically dictated survival rates. Number 2. Wearing life jackets. Correctly, life jackets were provided to passengers, but not everyone used them effectively. Many wore them incorrectly or failed to put them on at all. Proper use of life jackets would have kept people afloat longer, increasing their chances of being rescued by lifeboats or nearby ships. Number 1. Avoiding the iceberg. Altogether, the most realistic way to survive the Titanic disaster? Prevent it from happening in the first place. Several warnings about icebergs were sent to the Titanic that night, but they were either ignored or delayed. A slower speed or more vigilant lookout could have given the ship enough time to steer clear of the iceberg entirely. The tragedy of the Titanic is a sobering reminder of human error, class inequality, and the limits of technology. While many of these methods might seem plausible, the freezing water and chaotic conditions of that night left few real chances for survival. Could any of these ideas have worked? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories from history's greatest moments of survival and loss.